Hey, I am the Wolfmaan, Chief Instructor here at Barefoot Bushcraft, and I want to thank you for tuning in to this video. Today I want to talk to you about something that's maybe a little bit macabre, a little bit odd, but very important nonetheless. Any of you who are in the military know one of the first things you get issued are your dog tags. Your dog tags do, they have very important information on them. These are what are called Canadian eye discs, of course, because I am Canadian. So I'm going to put a little image of what the regulation issue dog tags look like right on the screen. There we go. Now you will see that they have your service number, they have first name, first initial, last name, they have a religious affiliation, if any, and of course your blood type. Now at the bottom they say CDN Forces or Canadian Forces. Now that's kind of cool, it's kind of nice to walk around, dog tags have become very popular in pop culture. You can get all kinds of different shapes and sizes and different meanings and things like that. But when you're talking about an official set of tags, you need to be very careful when you travel. Now many adventurers like myself and many others, we carry tags like this at all times. In fact, I wear a set at all times. And here's the reason. You don't have to go too far into the news before you were going to see that hikers get lost, hikers die, adventurers, kayakers, cavers, many of us every year meet our demise doing the things that we are very passionate about. Unfortunately, we don't always get recovered, or we get recovered quite a few days or months or even years after the fact, and no one can figure out who we are. This even goes for mountaineers on mountains are a big one. There's deaths every year on Mount Everest. Not a very fun thing to talk about, dying doing the things that you love. But here's something you can do. If you wear your tags, you wear your discs, and you have them on you at all times, when you're out and about camping, hiking, adventuring, doing whatever it is that you do, and something were to happen, they're going to be able to identify you. That's why we wear them. It's plain and simple. You have your information on them. You go out into the wilderness or wherever it is you go, something happens to you, you're very easily able to be identified. That's why soldiers wear them. Very high risk of dying in that profession, of course, right? For the most part. So when there's, someone gets killed on the battlefield or whatever, eye discs help identify them. But here's the thing. As a bona fide civilian, should you be wearing military eye discs? It looks cool to walk around with the tag on, pretend you're the soldier, wear the camouflage, even if you're not in the military, and that's all well and good. But if you travel and you go to other countries and other places in the world, and you have a piece of ID that looks like the one that I put on the screen that says Canadian Forces or American Forces or whatever, you are opening yourself up for trouble. It's plain and simple. You go to, Baghdad or any place like that on holiday or whatever reason that you're there, and you have something on you that identifies you as a soldier. Number one, you can be in legal trouble, legal implications for pretending to be something you're not. And number two, you are just in trouble from a social standpoint because something could happen to you, something could go on where you end up arrested by the police or whatever, and you have military ID on. It's going to hurt you. You're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble. So here's a simple solution that was given to me by somebody I know who worked for the U.S. State Department and does a lot of traveling and, of course, wears ID tags. Take your tags when you order them. Get them stamped non-combatant. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like right there on the screen. See, it's the same standard military ID tag, like the one I have in my hand here, but instead of saying Canadian Forces, American Forces, whatever, it specifically says non-combatant. Now, I can proudly wear a non-combatant tag anywhere on the streets. I can wear it going to Baghdad. I can wear it anywhere that I want, and it identifies me as a non-military personnel. Very important to have tags on so that I can be identified if something horrible happens to me, but also so that I'm identified as somebody who's not in the military if I'm no longer employed by the military. So just a couple of really interesting things that you might want to consider in your travels, in your adventures around the world, in your bushcraft studies, and all of that sort of thing. So go ahead, buy yourself a set of these tags. They are very important. They could save your family from wondering whatever happened to you if, you know, you meet your demise doing out what you are passionate about. But also very important that you don't come across as something that you are not and get yourself in some trouble. Even if you go through an aircraft checkpoint and you go through like customs, they can look at these, and if they're stamped Canadian Forces, they can say, hey, why do you have Canadian Forces tags? Do you have your ID card? Do you have this? Do you have that? Oh no, I just thought it was cool. Now you're gonna land yourself up in a heap of trouble. Anyways, I hope this little video sort of sets a couple of things straight about iDiscs, dog tags, meat tags, whatever you want to call them. Please go ahead and consider wearing them. Put things on them like your information, your personal ID, your social security number if you want, your name, your blood type, even your birthplace. There is a civilian version of this called My Road ID, and they're really awesome. Now I'm going to put a picture of one of those right there. There we go. Now you can see they do not look military. You can wear them on your wrist as a wrist strap. You can put them on your ankle with an ankle strap, anything that you want. So they're pretty awesome too. And I will put their URL right there. There we go. So now you have both you know, a military variant. You can get these on all kinds of internet websites. And even if you were in the military and now you're not and you still want to wear your tags, get a reproduction set made that say non-combatant stamped on them. Very, very important for you. That was sort of the whole gist of this video. Anyways, I am the Wolfman, Chief Instructor here at Barefoot Bushcraft. I want to thank you for watching this video. Please consider subscribing.